Hello and welcome to Ogre Battle. Let's play Ogre Battle. I am your host, TheAisforAlmighty. Welcome to the channel, if you are new, which is probably everyone because I only get like 3 or 4 views. I'm not salty. There's no spite in my voice. At any rate, I played this game on Super Nintendo, played it on PS1, loved it, loved every minute of it, know how to cheese it up a little bit. I probably will use a walkthrough just so I can get all of the stuff, just in case people who are watching wish for that sort of thing. I'll get all the... I know how to get all the people without the walkthrough, for the most part. Except golf, which I won't get because I don't feel like grinding off screen in order to get my... You'll see. You'll see the mechanics soon. Let's just jump in. I'll read everything, I guess. Why not? Well, I won't read everything. I'll read all the pertinent stuff. The pertinent stuff. You'll probably get flicker because I'm only recording at 20 frames per second. Hopefully it's not too bad. It's just a way that I can keep things compressed and small. The file size. I probably don't have to anymore, considering YouTube will let me upload 2 gig files to other games, but excuse me, my computer is not that new, and I don't know how that's gonna... I don't know if it can handle all that compression and redirection and all that other stuff that I don't know anything about. So, let's go. My name is Warren. I am a great seer who can understand the destiny the stars have placed upon you. I will now use the power of the tarot to decide whether or not you are fit to become our leader. But first, tell me your name. Stay a while and listen. Well, Warren, since you already have the tarot cards, you should be able to tell me. I'm not crazy about people who predict things. You can predict my name, huh? Maybe this is a test. Test of the National Broadcast System. Please tell me your sex. Male. Well, that was abrupt. Alright, this... We can probably speed through it. I'm not really concerned with what I get for my my leader, because I tend not to use them till the end. And there's ways to level them without even fighting. But I'll go through this stuff because people may want to play it. This is also the PS1 version. I'm using an emulator. I own the game, but it's just easier on my computer and all that. I don't have it set up. But anyway, I didn't read that. I should have. Basically, the question was, it's the night before your army's first battle or a battle. What do you wish for your army? Luck, bravery, or victory? I'm gonna go with luck because I can't remember the best answer. Justice. You're standing in front of a mirror which shows your best trait. What is shown in the mirror? My belfie. Oh my gosh. Physical strength, mental strength, moral strength. I think moral gets you the best one. There's a I use my leader to liberate, and the higher your alignment, the better effect you have when you liberate towns. You'll see it's easier to explain once we get to the tutorial level or the first level. You're staring at the full moon the night before a battle. What are you thinking of? I forgot his voice. The results of the battle, your family, your beautiful lover. Fat chance on the last one. Wait a minute, that's not nice. Because of a mistake you made, your army is forced to retreat. What do you do? Lament? Retire from your post? Shrug your shoulders. I'm not gonna retire. I'll lament though. I won't retire. What do you think is the most important thing to remember when walking the path of a warrior? Justice! Glory! Faith. Faith. Why did I say it like that? Faith. Justice. What above all other things do you think is the greatest crime against your fellow man? To deceive, to sacrifice, to steal. And finally, please choose a tarot card from the deck. Doesn't matter, it's random. It's probably already chose it. Hierophant. Oh gods, please grant to our I didn't press the button. Damn it, Warren! Alright, so. Oh, I forgot about this. Nope, don't go there. Don't go there! I didn't do this. I don't know the buttons, so. Chapter 1, beginning. 25 years ago, there was a great war that engulfed the entire land of Zetagenia. The war lasted 1 year. 4 kingdoms vanished as a result, and the remaining kingdom adopted the name of the Zetagenian Empire and ruled the land. The empire ruled the land using corrupt methods and ruthless politicians, which caused many people to suffer. Near the borders of the Sharom, the remaining knights of the Zenobian army are planning the final assault while awaiting their new leader. That's me. Oh, I didn't know you can speed that up. I haven't played on this version for a while. I normally use the SNES because because it has fast forward. I'm sure this does too, but it's just easier. All right. So in this game, you can stop. Everything's in real time, quote unquote. There's a day-night cycle is basically what that means. And you can pause that so time doesn't go on, so you can make decisions. We have no real decisions. If we had items, they'd be there. If we had units to deal with. Oh, look at that. It tells you what everything does. This takes you to the edit unit screen, whatever. The tarot cards, if we have them, which we do. I cannot make this. Oh, there it goes. And that just tells you the list. And I'm sure you can get it to tell you what they do. Yep, there you go. But I'll explain it as I use them. I think I have more than that, don't I? I do. Okay, well, that's not that big a deal. This tells you now when you liberate towns, the ones that are pink. I'll show you as soon as I drop this menu or this pop-up. The tributes, they give you a tribute. That basically every day you get the amount of money in attributes, and then each unit or each squad that you use or that you deploy costs a deployment cost. And then, of course, that subtract the tributes minus the deployment cost for the day, and you'll get the pre-balance, or the total balance. The pre is what you have before you come to that stage, and then from there, it subtracts, adds and subtracts. I'm going to keep all this on. This makes the game a little longer. Maybe later on I'll turn off the animations, but starting out, at least for any unit I get, or any moon unit that I get, I'll try to turn on the animation so you can see it. Music makes me lose control. Sound effects. This is the question. 3 is fast speed for the text. This is the day night. I always put it on slow. And yep, there you go. And that's it. And this allows you to save, which I'm not going to because I don't really care. All right. To move, you select on your icon the boot to move. He's a plane type. Planes means all this green stuff he moves his fastest. Anything other than that, he takes a movement penalty. A lot of that is important, especially later on, because there's snow and a bunch of other things. But I'm going to cheese the game and get off flying units, so most of that won't matter. But early on, you have to be, I guess, moderately cognizant of where you send your units. Now this is cool because in the Super Nintendo version, you don't have that. So you can send this unit, my unit, the hero, instead of sending him straight across that mountain, you can set waypoints. I'm not going to bore you with that right now because I forgot how to do it, and I'm going to have to replay the game in order to get the buttons right. You can set waypoints around that mountain in order for him to follow a track, and then he'll go around it at his fastest instead of being slowed by the mountain. Now, it's probably just as fast to go across the mountain in this small map, but in larger maps, it might be beneficial to go around them. You draw a card, of course. Emperor. Draw all the cards early on because your penalties aren't that big or small early on, and plus you're going to be able to gain more reputation than you lose if you play the cards right. I didn't mean to say that. towns and temples, you can gather information and get terrible rewards. You will also receive a tribute every day from each town you liberate. You can't run an army without money, so be sure you liberate some towns. Shall I repeat that, please? God, no. May the gods go with you, Almighty. So, and when you finish, the game pauses. When you end your move, or when you encounter something, the game pauses the day-night cycle, so that's beneficial. But as soon as you click it, there you go again. So I know that there's something up here. Now watch how slow he moves in the water. Also can move the screen, and that's slow. That stops. You can tell by the water not moving, or the animation for the water rather. So there's a secret town up here. There are also hidden treasures in places too. I tend not to get them if I don't have time, but like I said, I choose the game in that I stick around to gain money. But you can only do that so long because you start losing money and you start losing reputation for milking the town folks who are in a war. They're freaking refugees and you're taking all their money. I don't care. I gotta run this army. Liberated the fortress city.
Liberation.
Okay. That's a good card. Now this card, okay. So whenever you pull a card, you get a boost to something or a penalty to something. This one boosts all the characters in that unit. It boosts their luck by 1, so +1 to luck. I can't remember what luck is for, honestly. It's for something important. I don't know. Crits. No crits. There aren't any crits in this game. We keep this card. Now that card. Well, I'll just show it to you. My name is Lance. I'm a knight of the Royal Zenobian Army. You must be the new leader Warren was talking about. I must say, I like the look in your eyes. I like the look in your eyes. We have lived until this day only to see the wasteful death of King Gran avenged. I believe that at your side, we just may be able to do that. I hereby pledge my allegiance to you. I'm a flag. We will fight with you until the Zenobian Empire is crushed. I'm sorry. I should take this more seriously. They're at war. And true peace is returned to the land. He was into it, I'm sorry. To deploy a unit, press the square button, which I don't know. And use the deploy unit. Alright, so do that. Deploy unit. I'm not gonna deploy him. But that's how much he costs to deploy lands in his unit. Now he's actually got a great unit. And I'll explain why later. I'll probably do an appendium. Appendum? Appendix? Whatever. I'll do another video that describes the units, because the game's combat is weird, and I'll show you. Well, it's going to come up soon anyway. But you see how slow he's moving in the water. Very slow. And remember, because they move that slowly, other units, the bad guy units, which you don't see now until we get to the next map, they travel on different places as well. They tend to travel their most beneficial routes. So if I'm here, they can take back this town if there was one here. Ah, there it is. Let's zoom out. You couldn't do the tilt on the Super Nintendo. Oh, that PS1 glorious power. Oh, okay. It's because it's this. So, yeah, all right. That's just locks the person. I'm still trying to figure out half of it. You liberated Roshian. I'll probably flip-flop Roshian.
Liberation.
Yoshian Temple. They venerate the god Luigi. We draw a card. You pulled Hermit. Again. Intelligence up 2.
Thank you.
I didn't even go over my unit. Or my squad, rather. That's a direct damage. Flame sword. So they gave me a flame sword. I already told you about the day-night cycle. Also, you can pause when you encounter it, which I probably will do way too much. So you pause, hit X. Now it shows you this flame sword, and it should tell me what it does. Okay, +6 to strength, and I'll go over that. Shielded by dozens of tiny flames. You don't get to see it. That's one thing I didn't like about this game. You don't get to see the actual items, which I think they should have done for the PlayStation version because they had a little more power or what have you. But what do I know? I don't know anything about that. Moving on. Now, planes. This guy you should fight at night. Technically, if you were fighting him and he was a boss, because he hits harder at night. And as you can see, until you get close enough to him, he won't reveal what he is or what he does. So you don't know what type of unit he is. I have encountered the enemy. It seems that you have prepared for the battle ahead. You must now do battle with me. I don't understand that. We're on the same side, aren't we? If you manage to defeat me, we will all follow you. Gosh, I can't read today. Should have my coffee now instead of earlier. If you press X during the battle scene, it pauses the game and you go into the menu. Let's do it.
Fight it out.
Let's do it. So that's what you're talking about. So this is how you use your tarot cards. Look, I'll explain them. This one, as you saw earlier, gives you 50%, 50 hit points. The way combat works. The way combat works is all of your characters in your squad and the opposing squad have a certain amount of attacks they do, dependent upon where they are in the ranks. So if they're in the front rank, like these little fighter guys in the front, the 3 guys in the front that are identical, up front they have 2 physical attacks, okay? In the back they only have 1, so it's advantageous to put them in the front. Also, they have decent defense against physical, so things that hit them, it does less damage. So it's advantageous to have them up front. The blue lady in the back is a cleric. She has no attacks in the back. What she does is she heals the person with the lowest hit points. She doesn't heal the person with the lowest hit points of damage. So if you have someone who is at 101, but their max hit points is at 200, and you have someone at 100, but their max hit points is at 100 or 101, she'll heal the 101 dude, which is infuriating, but you know, what are you gonna do? The leader, I didn't even look at his stuff. I'll look at it later. I think he only gets 1 attack in the back, and it's typically AoE. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7 attacks versus the guy we're fighting is a wizard. Warren is a wizard. In the back row, they get 2 magical attacks. And based on your which is your tactics, that will determine who they throw that magic at. So if you go strong, they attack the guy with the most hit points regardless of, and they always use the best spell available. So whatever that guy's weak to, that's what they'll use. So if your leader is weak to physical, they'll try to use a physical style magic attack, and it hits any of the units. So they're very powerful if you can get like these 3 fighters in front of them or something else that absorbs physical attacks, because they get crushed physically. If you can reach them, it's toast. But typically you'll have something up front that absorbs soaks damage, and then they'll just blast them and Kingdom Come. Same with weak. Weak is just the opposite of strong. Whoever has the least amount of hit points they'll attack. And best is they'll use their best attack versus the person they do the most damage to. So he'll probably use it. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what he would use. But this is our tactics. So we want to. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have a front line. If we want it to be safe, we could use a star that increases your agility, so he'll hit less. Hanged Man, that reduces his physical defense Justice is a cold direct damage. Hermit is a lightning direct damage. Strength boosts our physical defense. Hierophant would miss, but it puts units to sleep. This gives you an extra attack for each unit in your squad. This heals you. So I may end up using that. But you have 7 attacks. Oh, that looks nice. I forgot how good that looks. So he's on probably leader, but he could be on low or best. See, she healed me. I haven't taken any damage. It's annoying. So we get as many rounds as there are attacks for both teams. So there's not really rounds. So that's our healing. And I'm gonna tell you now, clerics are out. I don't even use them. I use them to level them up until they become Valkyries, because Valkyries are direct damage. And like I said, damage is what counts. So, to win a battle, I'm going to read this in a second. To win a battle, you either destroy everyone opposing, or you do the most damage after calculating all your attacks versus all your opponent's attacks. So, you can, and they don't count clerical heals toward that total. So, having a cleric is actually detrimental unless you have a large unit, which we'll see in a sec, probably in my appendum. What would you call it? Is it an appendum? It is today. It's not an appendage. I know what that is. Anyway, I'll probably I'll do a unit analysis thing. If not a total unit analysis, just my army, and I'll show how I set it up, because it's fairly involved, and I don't want to waste an entire video. I don't want to waste time that I could be using on a map where you could watch that instead. If you just if you want to watch it, fine. If you don't, then that's better for you. Anyway, you have done well, and all now know your power. Our fate now lies in your hands, Almighty. Now we shall fight together against the Zetagenian. I'm gonna run that a lot. Now we shall fight together until the Zetagenian Empire. I'll probably re-record this because I'm making a lot of mistakes. Is brought to its knees. I will. I'm not re-recording this. You can't be serious. And then for beating the whole map, you get a bonus. What I'll probably do is do the map and then come back and do all the stuff that's required of the map. Because you have to revisit, you don't have to, but you should revisit all of the maps that you've conquered or liberated, rather. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Alright, so you saw that. I can't. I have no save spots. Alright, after you beat Warren, that's when you get your army. I'll show the army real quick. And here it is. This is everything you have. And here's some supplementaries. Maybe I should just do it in this one. I have how much time do I have? It's a small. I'll try to go to 500 megs. I think I can handle that. I don't want to go much bigger than that. For the upload. Yeah, I'll just do it now. This is good enough. This will be the beginning, the first, and the first tutorial and the supplementary all in one. So this is what I was talking about. This is your leader. He's got his midriff showing in a belly button ring for some reason, or maybe it's not a ring. Maybe you put like a black marble in there, and that'll throw people off. So here's his stats. His strength is abysmally low. His agility is pretty high. I think 50 is the average, or 48-ish. So his strength is low. His agility is high. His intelligence is rather high. Alignment's high. So again, like I was saying, alignment over 50 are units, leaders with alignments. Or I'm not sure if it's leaders. I have to read up on it. I'm not sure if it's leaders or the sum total of the alignments in your unit. But alignment over 50 is what you're looking for a liberation unit. So charisma high. Charisma is used for certain Well, a lot of the units, when they evolve, I call it evolve right now, but they basically, they call it level up, but they just evolve, basically. And this is hard to maintain in certain ways. There's ways to lose and gain charisma and alignment. Certain units, if you kill certain units like clerics, you lose alignment and charisma. If you kill undead, you gain alignment and charisma. If you fight a unit that's that your unit totally out levels, I think it's by 3, you lose alignment and charisma. If you fight a unit that's above your level by 1 to 3, you gain alignment and charisma. If you run away, you lose alignment. I'm not sure if you lose charisma for that. So you see down here where it says F and B. F, banish, and B, ice cloud. Banish, if I put my leader in the front with his terrible 40 strength, he will use 2 physical attacks, and they're called banish. As a matter of fact, I think they might be light damage, or white damage we'll call it, because that's what it's called. You'll see he's got 1 ice cloud, which is 1 attack from the back. You saw that as the blue thing that looked like a clover, or clover shaped, and that hit everybody. Those are really good units early on. If I have a Doll Mage, they level fast early because they hit everything, and they don't level, they win. They win a lot. I won't say they level fast, but they have 1 hit everything attack. So you put them against units that have 5 things, and they win. You see, item is empty because I don't have any items on him. Plains type movement and able to be leader. Certain units are able to be leaders and others aren't. Monsters, large monsters I should say, typically aren't. These first tier fighters over here, let's go ahead and go to them. These guys cannot be a leader, as you can see, but the cleric can. Let's go to, so you see earlier I was describing, in the front he has 2 attacks, in the back he has 1 attack. Plains type, 48, it's respectable, 51 agility, he's gonna get hit. Same with this guy. Now remember he has +6 because of the flame sword. So you can see the item equipped is a flame sword, but it doesn't tell you the bonus. Well, it does upon equipping it. So +6 damage. So he's got 48 strength as well, and he's got 47. So not bad, not great, but not bad. And the healer cross attack is actually light damage or white damage, but it's 2 in the front. But she's squishy, so don't put them in the front. You notice her intelligence is high as the leaders. That's why it's good to level clerics before you make them Valkyries, because they get a bunch of intelligence, and intelligence translates to magic damage. And agility gives the chance to miss these units, so she's fairly fast. Very high alignment, so that doesn't always. Alright, this unit is Lance. He's the special guy we got before. 54, 55, 46, that's Vince. 68 strength, so he's already a powerhouse early on. He hits hard. The problem is, he hits twice up front, and not the problem, but he's a frontline unit, so he's gonna have to blast through or fight his way through the leaders most of the time, which are in the back row. And he's in the front row because he's a front line dude. That means as a leader, he can be targeted directly by all the melee and the magic people. So I keep him up there anyway because I don't care. His fighters are level 4, but you can't level them into anything just yet. I think, oh no, you might be able to, I'll look. These guys are awesome, and I'm going to move them, but not just yet. Here's an example of a large. Now, here you can see you have 5 units, right? Because you can have 5 small units, 2 large units and a small, or 3 small units and a large. So you have certain amount of spaces that you can use, or anything less. You can have 1 unit as long as it can be a leader, and that's what I do to liberate. To visit towns later, but I'll deal with that later. This guy is super powerful, and he will remain powerful the entire game. What you have to do, though, is watch his charisma and alignment, because if they dip too low, you can't level him to his next evolution, and then you lose him. You lose the chance to have a very strong AoE attack. But we'll get to that. I'll probably forget. As you can see, his alignment is below 50, so he's not a liberator. I mean, you can, but it actually works against you. And his dogs, level 4, which consider most of your other units are level 1. These guys hit hard. They're very fast, and they have low alignment. So again, they're mountain type. When you have a large unit, oh, I forgot you can do that too. So you can see all the animations. I'm not gonna go through that though. Up here, this is unit number 3. The leader's name is Warren. Cost is it's nearly 1,000 to deploy this unit, and mountain type. It's mountain type because you have these large units here. They will supersede. Will you stop bouncing around? They'll supersede the plains type because they're large. Let's see. All right, let's talk about the Amazons. These are crappy. They're the crappiest in the game. They're the crappiest in the game, and bar none. You really have to fight to make these good, but you don't keep them Amazons. So they're first tier. So the first tier units are the fighter and the Amazon. And the way it works is as you level, it makes it available. It makes the evolution tree available. So you have certain stats that you need to be certain things. So you need fighters, for example. They have to have greater than, I want to say 50. It's been a while. I think greater than 60. Greater than 60 alignment. We'll say it for now. Just a high alignment and a decent 50 or better charisma to become a knight, and level 5. Level 5 to become a knight. Excuse me. To be a wizard, they only need level 4 and 50 or you know, around there, or less than 50 actually. It doesn't matter there. They can't be below 35 if I'm not mistaken. But that's why I use my walkthrough. Go to GameFAQs. There's 1,000. Well, no, not 1,000. I'll try not to over exaggerate. There's a bunch of resources that describe it. And a certain level. So you have to have a certain level, have the requisite stats, and then boom, you can level, and it'll show you. I think. Let me see if I can do this. I just want to show it. Nope, you can't. Well, we can do. I'm afraid to do it here. So, if we were to use him, see, all he can only actually devolve into a fighter. I'm not gonna devolve him because I don't think you can get him. Let's see if you can get him back. I mean, I do. Okay, so this is what it looks like when he's ready. He's level 4, which is what you need for a wizard. If he's level 5, more things would show up if he had the right charisma and alignment. The physical stats don't count. I mean, don't matter. So then you hit that, and then he will change to a wizard. Is this okay? Yes. And then he becomes a wizard. And now he's on the wizard evolution tree. So everything else is gone. He becomes wizard, then he goes to mage. If he gets other special requirements, then he becomes like the strongest units in the game. The same with these guys. You see it says bad. That means he can't level into anything yet. It's probably his charisma. His charisma's too low. It needs to be 50. And then actually, if you can get that charisma to 50, he can be a bunch of stuff. But his intelligence is pretty crappy. So you probably wait for level 5 and make him a knight, or even 6 or 7 for a samurai, or wild man, or a beastmaster, or a beastman, or a ninja if you're good enough. I'm never good enough. It takes, like, actually these 2 fighters, or even lands, are the ones you would put in front and just try to beat everything within an inch of his life until your alignment shrinks. But anyway. Here's What you also want to do is switch your units to make them viable for whatever you're trying to do. Wait a minute, this is backwards. Ianuki used to be the name of the Sonic Strike. Wait a minute, did they change that? Oh, maybe not. Alright, so his front attack is 2 physical attacks. His back attack is based on his charisma, if I'm not mistaken. The higher his charisma, the higher the attack. He does a single attack, single target, but it hits like a bus. It's all physical. And he can aim it at anybody on the opposite team based on your tactics. So they're powerful unless they miss, because then that's it for their attacks. But up front you get 2 attacks, so I mean it's good if you can aim them at magic users or anybody who's squishy, because he can smash them in one shot. These guys give a bonus to they're beast tamers. They give a bonus to large units, large animal units, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, they're only decent. The good thing is they have 2 attacks no matter where they are, so you can put them in the back or you can put them in the front. They're decently they have a pretty good progression. They get decently strong and decently quick, but they're immune. Their weakness is fire, and everybody has it. Later on in the game, it's not worth it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I didn't finish talking about these. They're awful. Their progression's really bad. They really don't want you to keep them. They have 2 attacks in the back, which is their best. Their shining light. But they hit like crap. Around level 5, they become worthless. But the good thing is, at level 4 you can make them clerics, and then at level 5 you can make them Valkyries, or just 6. Either way, make them Valkyries, put them in the front. They become decent in the front, but their strength is in the back, where they have 2 lightning attacks, which means they can direct the lightning at anybody you want. So, and lightning's pretty strong in this game. He's weak to it. He doesn't have any resistance to it, or weakness to it, so it works fairly well on that. Lightning's really good in this game. Let's see. Here's a Doll Mage. Acid Cloud hits everybody. It's fantastic. And up front, he has a... Let me see if I can... Oh, okay. No, let's do this. Okay, he didn't show the front. I thought he was going to show the front. He shows the back one, because that's where he is. Okay. So this unit's pretty strong. You'd have to move him to the back. And then you have this Golem, or Golem, however you want to say it. This Golem, that's how I'm going to say it. 3 punches in the front, fairly strong, no agility, it will get hit. Has very high defense, physical defense, but really low fire defense. So early in the game, he's great to have. Later on, they become worthless, because a fireball will hit them for 60 and they'll be dead. And plus, there's a lot of magic weapons that you can pick up. Well, actually, the bad guys don't have magic weapons, which is good. But early on, great. Later on, crap. Then these are your additional stuff. If you really want, you level up these 3 to get them into the higher tier stuff. But you probably won't need to, because you're gonna get a unit. You get a unit next. No, you get a unit 2 or 3 stages that makes all of these people obsolete, completely obsolete. Griffin. Notice his movement, high sky type. That means terrain doesn't matter, and it's the fastest in the game. Slow, I believe, low sky, there's low sky and high sky. Low sky slows down a little bit for mountains. High sky can't be bothered. I'm too high. Don't you understand? I fly in the clouds. They break the game. But they're large, so you get less units. But matter. So you put them on, I typically put them on a strong unit, so just in case things get hot, I can fly him up to the front if he's not in the front, which he will be, and on my liberator. Why? So I can fly as fast as I can, get all the liberate all the towns behind the enemy lines, or behind not enemy lines, behind the skirmish line, and you'll see what I'm talking about soon. Because a lot of times you don't have a lot of. It takes a long time to battle. I'll have to say, it just does. The game is. I won't say it's tedious, but each map, the maps get bigger, they get larger, and as they get larger, you need high sky, because they're just too big to walk around. And if you're gonna, I'm not saying don't do it. I've done it in the past. I used no high sky units, and it was fun because you can level a bunch of other units. But five small units get you up to 10, sometimes 15 attacks, but up to 15. But it's so slow. They walk so slow, and you have to actually be aware of who might the units taking back, or because when you get your if you liberate a town and the bad guy retakes it, you lose reputation, as well as that money's gone for the night-day cycle. So I think that's about it. You can erase. Oh, let's show formation right. I don't know. Decide. All right, here's this one needs a new formation. So I'll keep him the leader, and you can see where it has different spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the smalls. And for the big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you can only put two large units in the front, and that would be here, probably here, here, and here. You can put one large and two small in the front if you have it, and the same sort of configuration in the back. So now this unit is much better because that guy's powerful from the back, 2 magical. He's powerful from the back, 2 magic, and a full and a AoE attack from the back. And this guy takes almost no damage early, and his punches hit really hard if he hits. So that's gonna do it. In my next video, my army should be fully configured, fully armed. I don't know where that comes from. I can't remember. He's definitely gonna be different. He's gonna be different, and I think Almighty's gonna be different. And I might only have 9 units. It won't matter. But that should do it. This is Ogre Battle. I really like this game. My plans are to do this one and then try to find a way to get to play the Nintendo 64 version, which is Person of Lordly Caliber, if I'm not mistaken. That's the name of it. And then go from there to Ogre Tactics for the PlayStation. And after that, I might go to Final Fantasy Tactics just to have a run through, because I haven't played that in a while. And if I can find a way to make it run. Oh wait, I can. Just thought of it. Chrono Trigger will probably be on tap. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for showing up. I hope you like this game. Let me know in the comments. If you don't, tell me why. It really is a pretty phenomenal game. Once you get past, we'll call it tedium. There's a bunch of sameness to it. The best part is, you know what? Let's do this before we go. I got 3 megs. I don't care. I forgot to tell you about this. Revisiting tends to give you story, tends to give you unlocked secrets, and this thing is so I'm using a USB PlayStation 2 controller. It's a little finicky. I tried to configure the analog sticks, but they don't work on this because it's a PlayStation. Alright, that's how you find treasure. Basically, you just look where you think a treasure's gonna be. That's the same thing for anything. Open spaces, weird spaces that look like squares or but open. They're everywhere and anywhere. And it just encourages what's the word I'm looking for? When you discover stuff.
Find out.
I don't know. My brain is mush. I should have slept better. Exploration. Thank you. You said that. So I know that there's one here. Now there's two ways to go about it. Let's see if I can make this work while I'm thinking about it. Let's see if I can go here. No, that's not working. There it is. So you can set waypoints. You want to travel to the waypoints instead. When I first saw this, I thought it was the coolest thing because it lets you avoid water. And water slows the game down so much. But the trade-off is you have to set the waypoints, which is not faster. I guess it is mildly, and that's all. After you get to one of the larger ones, you want it. So there's one here, and that should be the last one. When you revisit, you lose money because you haven't, the liberation bonus or the liberation tributes don't take effect once you beat the level, so, or the map, or whatever. I think it's that.
Find out.
Find out. Liberation. Thunder Whip. So I have I think Dragon Claw is fire. So when you're done, can I find it? Go to map, return, take you out to the map screen, which is this one. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I meant to mention it. We gained quite a bit of reputation. So also the last person, whoever you beat the last castle on each map with, whichever unit, determines whether or not that it's. Let me rephrase that. I apologize. Defeating the last castle is considered liberating that town. If you use a low alignment unit, you'll take the reputation in. Use a high alignment unit, then you'll increase it. You know what? I'm done. So that's it. I'm going to do this. I don't have a schedule for this. I'm going to try to crank out one every other day-ish, or maybe every day if I can. I like playing the game. I play it all the time on Super Nintendo, so it really doesn't bother me. I wonder how many seconds that is. Anyway, I have to go because I think I have way too many seconds. I mean, way too many. The video is gonna be gigantic. Thanks for coming out again. TheAisforAlmighty. This has been Ogre Battle, the March of the Black Queen. Hope you enjoyed.